Developments tonight on the ongoing saga surrounding the Okolona Town Marshal's race. Tommy Lee Ivey Sr. currently sits in that position. However, there could potentially be another change in leadership. A new special election may soon have to take place after the Supreme Court issued a ruling earlier today. Quentin Smith, he's been following the story all throughout the day. So, Quentin, how did we get to this point?
Well, Scott, during the Democratic primary elections, the two candidates running for the position were Tommy Ivey Sr. and William Randall. However, after a judge ruled that errors were made during that primary election, he threw out the mishandled votes, but also removed Randall's name from the race. Today, the Supreme Court reversed that judge's decision, saying Randall's name should not have been taken off of the ballot.
This is a small celebration. What I want to do is impart upon the voters of Okolona that there will be a special election for town marshal.
It was news that Walter Zinn has been waiting to hear. His client, William Randall, will now have another chance to run as marshal in his hometown of Okolona.
Despite him being removed from office unlawfully, despite a year of having to find other ways to support his family, even being removed from a law enforcement officer, something that he loves, of course, I'm very excited to see him be vindicated.
The drama surrounding this situation dates back to 2017 when Randall defeated Ivey by a single vote in the Democratic primary race. However, Ivey believed some of those ballots were mishandled. So, as a result, he filed a lawsuit against the Democratic Executive Committee and Randall. In court, Circuit Judge Barry Ford ruled that some of the votes cast in Randall's favor were indeed unlawful and should not have counted. However, instead of calling a special election, Zinn says Ford withdrew Randall's name from the ballots altogether.
We knew then that the law wasn't being followed as to the outcome of that determination by the judge. And so within the rights that Mr. Randall had, we sought the process for an appeal.
After the judge issued his ruling, the only candidates left in the election were Ivey and his son, Tommy Ivey Jr., who ran as an independent. Ivey Jr. later dropped out of the race, leaving his father as the lone candidate for the position. However, the Supreme Court ruling says Randall was not given a fair shot to win the seat.
Errors did occur during that primary. So factually, he did make the right determination on counting the votes. After counting the votes, he made the mistake or error of removing Mr. Randall from running. What he should have done is said there was enough errors or enough problems in the election to overturn it, meaning essentially throw it out and do it again. But instead of throwing it out and do it again, he threw it out and told Mr. Ivey to move on to the general election. And that's where the error was, and that's where the Supreme Court had agreed with us.
Now, we did reach out to Ivey's attorney for a comment. However, we've yet to hear back from him. And I also want to point out, although the Supreme Court issued today's ruling, it cannot call for the special election to take place. That will have to be called by Judge Ford. So far, Zinn says he has not been told when the judge will make that announcement.